From the opener, you can see a few different directions TNA are now going in. We have Magnus, who's been moved away from Bully Ray or the World Championship, which is more because of the Ace and Eights going down a whole breakup storyline, and the Ace and Eights moving away from the main event Mafia for the same reason. But luckily, Magnus is still involved in a big spot in TNA, which is now seeming to be the main event Mafia versus Ego, Rude, Kazarian, and Daniels. Well, from the opener, it obviously came down to the Ego attacking Magnus, which eventually made Sting make the 3-on-3, which surprisingly, I thought with Sting involved, Sting would help his team pick up the win. But no, we have Rude hitting Magnus with the baseball bat and getting the pin on Magnus. So I'm quite interested in this direction because for two reasons. Number one, Magnus is still going to be involved in a big spot in TNA, and two, the feud we're going to get, the main event Mafia going up against the great, very entertaining on mic, Kazarian, Daniels, and Rude. So I think from the opener and for the future, this could be a lot more entertaining direction than against the Ace and Eights. Since losing the World Heavyweight Championship back to Bully Ray, fans have been questioning where is Chris Sabin going to go from here. He could have either continued going after Bully Ray or the Ace and Eights, or he could have slipped back down to the mid-card role. Well, the answer was hinted tonight because he made his return, and after Manic lost to his inspiration Jeff Hardy, he comes out and starts attacking Manic, more because he feels Manic is disrespectful, just like everyone else in TNA are, and Sabin's new role is to gain respect back, or he's going to take the respect back from everyone else. And even though Chris Sabin does need some kind of involvement, especially after the World Championship main event push, turning him heel just to get him back on TV, having him against the X Division wrestlers and possibly Jeff Hardy, whatever direction they've hinted tonight, I'm looking forward to it. Yes, you could say he was once the world champion, now he's somewhere else. But I think tonight may have hinted at least something for him to do. And if he does go against Jeff Hardy, that is still a up there feud for him to go into. So Chris Sabin possibly turning heel, his first opponent being Jeff Hardy. I'm looking forward to this. Before we move on to the purely entertainment segment of tonight's show, we have ODB defeating Mickie James to become the new Knockouts champion. And as much as I want to be pumped up for this because ODB is in a strong area back in TNA again, like she was when I first started watching, roughly 2011 going into 2012. There's not much knockouts for me to say, oh, I'm looking forward to this eventually happening. This is what she deserves. My interest for the future is not there. Come on, TNA, wake up. But then she's greeted by Eric Young and Joseph Parks. This leads to the entertainment part because out comes Bromance, the two guys who I'm surprised still have a contract in TNA. And basically they come out insulting them, yak yak yak, and the match between Robbie E and Eric Young is made. Because Joseph Parks is still in his suit, not prepared to fight. Eric Young beats him in a few seconds by rolling him up. And then after that, Joseph Parks agrees to wrestle, and Joseph Parks beats Robert E in 3 seconds. And after the match, as the bromances attack Joseph Parks, attack Eric Young We get to see the returning Blood Abyss characters starting to come back. I don't know why they're continuing this. They've had many great opportunities to bring that into full focus, make this come back and bring back Abyss. Unless that is just not gonna happen. Abyss's character's dying just like Joseph Park's character is. And I don't know, this segment, yes, like I said, it's for entertainment. But do we really want to see the entertainment from Joseph Park slash Abyss, who could have became a much stronger character if he had a reason for appearing and being around? Or were you happy with what we just got? So even though Magnus was this close to being Buddy Ray's next opponent, we now have him and the rest of the main event Mafia leaving the 8 and 8s to break up. Because tonight, Buddy Ray cut a great heel promo, getting the spotlight on him, and as he starts to mention the 8 and 8s members, he gives all the thanks to Brooke. Brooke for entering the ring and low blowing Anderson last week, even though it was the 8 and 8s who got in and helped to destroy Anderson. I like this, to be honest. It's really showing more cracks. It shows that Buddy Ray is putting himself in a much higher dominant scene, while the other three 8 and 8s members are just there. But one by one, he goes through each member. He puts down Wes Briscoe, who didn't really get much time on the mic. Thank God. That's probably why Wes is not getting much of a push, because he's not the best on the mic. Garrett Bishop got the same. And to be honest, since his father left, Garrett's just been there, so do what you want with him. But Knox out of the three of them, got the most strongest reaction. The crowd like clapping on their feet for some apparent reason. But Knox, out of all the members of the 8 and 8s, was the one used the least. So this surprised me. But Knox got into Buddy Ray's face, really brought out the giant guy versus the main guy. And I really thought there was going to be the next 8 and 8s member versus Buddy Ray fight going on here. But tonight, Buddy Ray leaves the ring with Brooke. But one great thing about Brooke, this was definitely a pretty distracting piece of her attire. She had a chain wrapped around her lower area, and Buddy Ray was just pulling it along. Yeah, that was a good way to walk her. But possibly next week or building up, I don't see the 8 and 8s lasting that much longer. With Tito gone because they want to probably concentrate on their MMA stuff outside of TNA, and while the 8 and 8s have more ability to break up now. So continue this on to next week. Eventually, as you saw tonight, they're going to be leaving one by one now. Even though the X Division, the Knockouts, are not interesting me as much as they used to, we also have the Tag Team Division. Oh boy. So tonight we got the injured Chavo Guerrero unable to team with Hernandez to face James Storm and Gunner. So instead, we get Gunner defeating Hernandez. So this is the possible feud going onwards. Think about this, TNA. As soon as that is finished, what are you going to do next? There had been video packages, backstage segments to build up to the finish of tonight's show, which was AJ and Dixie in the ring. AJ brings up many great points about Dixie, about she's got no real experience in the world of wrestling. But if you think of this, AJ, it was Dixie who saved TNA from going completely out of business. So for that, you could bring up the bad points about her experience or what she's doing within the company. But at the same time, if it weren't for her, which she does bring up in her fight, there would be none of what's happening today, or none of what AJ's accomplished. AJ mentions the fact that the X Division is nowhere near where it should be. You had all these great wrestlers who were in TNA wanting to come in TNA that could have gone much higher in their careers, and Dixie let them all down. But there is one thing Dixie's not going to stop from happening, and that's AJ becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. And even though he's got no contract, somehow, thanks to the Bound for Glory series, he's able to finish off the storyline. And my question to this is, do you feel that AJ Styles, the fact that he's admitted he's not contracted to TNA, should be able to do this? Or should Magnus have got this point? Because both wrestlers have a great reason to go up against Buddy Ray. Two good faces. They both had great storyline build-up characters that could have done a great job. Or would you have chosen someone else? And it got a bit heated, especially to finish the show off, because Dixie then mentions that if it weren't for Dixie, there would be no AJ. There would be no 5-star match. Dixie created AJ. And, he's an average wrestler in her words. This got really a battle between the two. But in the end, obviously Dixie couldn't take it anymore. She calls the night off, lights go out, end the show. The whole show, I can see why this was the finish, because this was the hottest thing going, especially with the back and forward words. And this must be, out of the three main storylines in TNA, the main event Mafia versus Ego, the Ace and Eights breaking up, and AJ and Dixie. This has got to be the hottest thing right now. But people, just because that's how I feel, please let me know how you feel in the comment section below. And let's see how far TNA can push these three major storylines. Is the main event Mafia gonna defeat Ego, or is Ego gonna come out on top? Are the Ace and Eights gonna break up soon, or are they gonna stretch out longer? Is AJ gonna win the Bound for Glory at Bound for Glory? So many different things. I just feel sorry for the other parts of the show. But people, till next time, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.